What's up, y'all? What up, what up? Welcome. File in. Hello. Hope somebody's awake. I guess Central, what is it, like 11 p.m. or something like that? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Is there anyone in here? Let's see how we look. Oh, what up? It's Juan. I'm Juan. What up, my boy Juan? What up, Lone Wolverine Survivor? Kid Collide says, hey man, looking good. What up, Kid Collide? Thank you. What up, George? Looking good. Can you guys notice how fat I am? Look at this. Yes, the bulk is real, man. I'm like 195 pounds right now. Started the bulk at 170 or something. So, yeah, definitely bulked way too hard. But it's all good. Been having fun. Enjoying the sweets and everything back in the States for Christmas. What up? What's up, homies? You grinding? I'm trying to. We're getting back in the swing of things here, y'all. Yes, that's right. It's bulking season. What's up, Zardia? What's up, Darth Fattest? Yo. When's the cut? I don't know. When should I cut? I'm thinking March. What do I need? 8 weeks or so? March is like 4 weeks. April, 4 weeks. Little extra time in May. It doesn't really get hot and nice like beach weather in Japan. At least in Tokyo until June or something. So March, April, May. Yeah, maybe mid-March. Mid-March, something like that. What's the word, y'all? Is everyone bulking right now? Or y'all on that skinny-ish? Cultivating mass. That's correct. True-ish, George. Trying not to swear too much on stream. I'm trying not to swear too much just in general. I used to get super offended when people would comment on my videos and they would say, This guy's got a dirty mouth. It'd be like some boomer. Hold on, let me just go back to my face cam. What's up? So y'all can see my beautiful face. People always used to comment on my videos and they were like, I'm sure they still do it, I just don't really look at the comments anymore. Like, this dude's got a dirty mouth. Be boomers and, I don't know, probably old people, virgins. Can you stop swearing, please, for the love of God? It's like, bro, it's just a word, man. You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. Go like this. Cover years at that part. You see, like, people are crazy. Like, they hear a swear. They hear any word. Be like, oh, not that. Please. Don't say that again. Bro, it's just a word, man. You're gonna be alright, man. You give it all the power anyways. But I am trying to stop swearing so much because somebody told me this a long time ago, and when I was a teenager, I don't mean to get all old head on y'all, I'll get all unk status on y'all, but somebody told me that when you swear too much, when you're just using swears all the time, it just acts as a replacement for better words or filler words, better adjectives, and it's really just showing how limited of a vocabulary that you have. And, you know, back in the day, I was super angry about that. And I was like, no, you're wrong. I say fuck all the time just because I like to say fuck all the time. And, I mean, that was partially true. But, yeah, I definitely had a limited vocabulary, and I think I still do. I mean, it might be better than some people, but not good enough for me. I'm vocab maxing 2026. What's up, y'all? Relate, man. Good shit. Do you want to travel to other places? Maybe Korea or China? Yeah, man. I want to travel anywhere, dude. Like, why not? Why not just travel anywhere? I'd go legitimately anywhere. If I had the money and the time, I'm just trying to get into some shit, you know? I love how people are always like, yeah, I want to go to Italy, and I want to go to Italy and try a real cannoli and Italian pizza. I mean, yeah, that's fine, and that's nice and all. I'm sure that would be great. But I like to get uncomfortable. That's the reason that I came to Japan from the first time I ever left the States. Went to China and Japan, and I mean, I know it's kind of a meme at this point. All the white dudes that come to Japan, they're like, I don't want to go to Tokyo. I want to go to the countryside, bro. Everybody has that one friend. You guys know who I'm talking about. And it's this guy, and he's like, I want to go to Japan, bro, but I don't want to go to Tokyo. I want to go to the countryside, bro. I want to meet some country girls, some trad girls. I want to go make soba out in the countryside, out in Niigata or something. I don't know. Maybe Niigata's not even that much countryside, but that's me. I want to do something different. I want to do something that, and not just because I want to be different and I want to say, hey, I'm cooler than you and better than you, although I do like to do that as well. If you guys haven't noticed, if you watch my channel for a little bit, I love being a hipster and a gatekeeper. No, but seriously, I like to get uncomfortable. I like to see the things in the world that you don't see every day. I mean, everybody's seen Instagram pictures from their co-worker who went on the Italian vacation, the honeymoon in Italy, in Paris, and saw the Eiffel Tower, and that's all great, but I want to do something that people haven't done. I want to do something that I don't know about. I mean, like I said, that's why I came to Japan. I think it was funny, like all the old people that not even just old people, but like normie friends and shit, when I said I was coming to Japan, they're like, why Japan? That's going to be so weird and so different. Why don't you just do a study abroad in England or something? Like, bro, to me that defeats the entire purpose of doing a study abroad. Don't you want to go and learn something new? Get uncomfortable, learn about new cultures? Oh, I'm going to go to a study abroad and just be able to speak with everyone? No. I mean, it's not what I'm in it for, at least. Yeah, the real Japan. I want to experience the real Japan, not Tokyo. Tokyo is the real Japan. I mean, there's some tourist stuff for sure, but Tokyo is real, man, for sure. Maybe even more than Kyoto, which is kind of funny because Kyoto is like the meme of, I want to go see the traditional stuff. I want to go see the temples. But like, dude, if you go to Kyoto these days, there are so many tourists. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, I'm sure just by numbers, there are probably more tourists in Tokyo, but Tokyo is so large that there are definitely plenty of areas that you can go in Tokyo and not feel like you're just surrounded by tourists. But yeah, man, you go to Kyoto, it feels like more than 50% of the people around are tourists. And the first time I was there was 2018, and it felt like that. So I can only imagine what it feels like now. Did you ever go to Yokosuka? What up, Dragon Defender? Nah, man, I never went to Yokosuka. That's the military base, right? It sounds cool, but I've pretty much avoided it the entire time I've been here because, like I was just saying, I didn't come to Japan to hang out with Americans. At this point, 4 years, I wouldn't mind getting some freedom in, conversing with some Americans, speaking some English, but when I first came here, people would always be like, you want to go to Yokosuka? There are a bunch of Americans down there. It's a military base, bro. We could get a good burger, bro. Let's go get a good burger in Japan. You want a good burger place? I'm like, what the? Dude, why did you even come here, man? I came here to eat sushi. It's like you guys are forgetting that I'm better than you. My diet, Dr. Kelp. I love SpongeBob, man. Okinawa was great. Yeah, I want to go to Okinawa too, for sure. Yeah, I got a lot of emails recently, guys, and I haven't responded to a bunch of them. I'm just keep it real with you. Ever since, I mean, we're at a turning point. I'm at a turning point. In not only the YouTube channel, but also in my life. I'm about to graduate school here. I'm making a big decision about whether or not I should stay in Japan. What I should do, if I should continue the YouTube channel, if I should just enter the wage slave life, become some worker at some big company, try to stay in Japan and do that, get the working visa and hang out in Japan, or go back to the States. Also, the channel is growing all the time, and it's caused me to almost pull back from it and be like, man, what do I do? Like? I gotta make a commitment one way or another. Because I'm making money now, and it's not a lot, but enough to basically replace like a part-time job. And now I'm having to decide, like, all right, what am I just going to keep doing this forever, like as a part-time job type of thing, or am I going to really dive in and try to make this like a full-time gig. I mean, I don't know if there's potential there, but I guess we can find out. If it's not now, it's never. So ever since the Kabukicho tout incident happened, I've got people have been hitting me up from all over YouTube and Instagram, like all types of different influencers and, different people who have different pull and aura in various realms. And the reason they liked me or they followed my videos, or maybe they just found my channel because of the Kabukicho tout thing, and then they start watching my videos, they're like, oh, this dude's cool, man. This dude's real. You got potential or whatever. And they're like, what's the next step? And I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. I was just kind of trying to like make videos for fun on the side here and there. And they're like, nah, dude, you got to take this thing full time. You got to go after it. And it's been scary, to be honest. It's a big risk. Am I going to dive into this and become even more unfiltered on the channel and risk future job opportunities? And I don't know if I want to keep trying to do this for the next year or something. I'm going to have to probably move back to the States. I can't really get a visa to do this in Japan. Right now, at least, I have to prove that I can make some more income for longer than just the next 6 months or something like that. So it's go time, it's time for me to settle down and lock in and either go for it or don't. So kind of been taking a step back, trying to figure out what the future of my channel is. Been working on this new streaming setup. I don't plan to be a streamer all the time, but I think this is fun to occasionally react to some stuff and connect with the people, give you guys my thoughts, talk in real time. So the reason I was talking about this in general was because I got a whole bunch of emails, and I was going to do these like response videos, just regular YouTube videos like I usually do, but I feel like those are getting less and less views, and I haven't been super stoked about making them, and it kind of would be, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it would be a little bit more fun to respond to some of those emails on stream and see what the people think in real time. So I apologize if you have emailed me in the last month or two and I haven't gotten back to you. I was saving those, kind of thinking like maybe I'll do some streams where I respond to some emails in real time and yeah, just try that out, see how that works. So anyways, I'm gonna quit yapping here. How many years until you finish university? Just a couple months, bro. I'm almost done. Have you been keeping tabs on the government? They may not let you stay. Yeah, no, they may not, and that's fine. That's fine. I wouldn't mind going back home, to be honest, man. Japan's dope, but I'm definitely getting over it for sure. Like I'm in need of freedom, I feel like. It's a big wake-up call. I mean, I knew this, but it's just a big smack in the face, a big wake-up call when, whether it's true or not that the police didn't want to help me during the Kabukicho incident because I was a foreigner. That is one hypothesis that a lot of people have proposed. Whether that's true or not, I mean, that's frustrating. They obviously didn't want to help me, so I don't know if that was because I was a foreigner or not, but that really, really pissed me off. And, hey, police in America aren't the best either, but it was a really, really helpless feeling being like, dude, I got attacked. It's on video. I have all the evidence in the world. This guy's right here. I know where to find this guy. And they were like, yeah, we can't help you. And most people have told me, oh, that's because you're a foreigner. They just don't care. And I'm not sure that I buy that. It seems more like, from what I know about Japanese culture, they need things to be perfect here. There's this perfectionism culture. And if something isn't 100% perfect, like if the police, for example, don't know for 100% they can find this guy and they can get him, if there's going to be any type of issue, they don't want to pursue it because they want it to be absolutely perfect and smooth with no issue. And that's kind of how things go in Japan. It's like, we're not going to even try something if it's not planned perfectly and it's going to be a perfect execution. So that's kind of more what I think about it. But either way, that was super frustrating. The novelty has worn off quite a bit. I love it here, but I came here to get uncomfortable. I came here to learn new stuff, and I feel like I did that. I still study the language, which is great, which is definitely a source of energy and happiness for me here. But like, I've learned most of the cultural stuff. I've got figured out how to get around out here. What else happened? There was something else that I was thinking of that like annoyed the hell out of me. Oh yeah, also talking to the police, and they were like, I was like, well, if I get hit again, or if I get attacked, or these guys follow me or something, like, what do I do? And they're like, you cannot hit back. Like, don't hit back. Just run away. Basically, like, hope that it's on camera or something. I'm like, it's crazy because I already got it on camera. And then when I did this video with Tyler, we talked to like, what are the odds? What are the odds that we just run into another guy out there who, multiple people who were drugged and attacked by these guys? And this guy said he also asked the security guard, what do I do if these guys attack me? And they're like, don't hit back, just run away, hope that it's on camera. And hearing that, that's very representative of Japanese culture. It's often like there's a problem, just kind of avoid it, just do your best to get away, don't make it your problem. If you just ignore the problem, it's not even there, kind of type thing. And I just really can't agree with that. So I want to go back to the States where I can protect myself, because I don't trust the government. I don't trust the police to take care of me. And of course, naturally, it's more dangerous in America as well, but that's fine, as long as I can have the freedom to protect myself. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to react to this video in a moment here, but let me respond to some of these comments. What up, Fops, my boy? Watching from the toilet. What up, Enter the Swag? Dude, I just took a really, really big steaming dump. I ate so much today. Bulking season, bro. And I was wiping for like 3 minutes. You know when you're wiping and it's like you're wiping a marker, and it just, no matter how much you wipe, it just, there's still stuff on the toilet paper. Yeah, I just had one of those. It sucked, man. I'm from Chicago. Start doing prank videos. I'm good. I used to really want to do that when I was younger, but nah. Too old for that. So this Macau vintage guy says, the Yakuza pay police not to interfere. I'd be curious to know, how do you know that? Like, what's your source? Because if you go on Reddit, or you talk to anyone in Tokyo, and everybody seems like everyone's an expert on this issue. Everybody knows what they're talking about, and well, it's it's just so obvious. Like, these guys are the victims, and the Yakuza, the Yakuza are bringing them over here as slaves, and the Yakuza pay the police off, and da 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 da. And it's like, how do you know that? Yakuza definitely exists. They don't want to talk about it. I mean, I don't know. Not making much sense to me, but anyways, trying to get away from that issue. I don't want to talk about that all the time. I want to react to some of my old videos today. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I want to start with this old gym video because I haven't actually watched this since I posted it. This was 2 years ago or so at this point. And I remember at the time, this is the first video that I posted and got any attention. It kind of blew up. I mean, how many views does this have? Hold on. Here we go. How many views? 184K views. So, yeah, it kind of blew up at the time. I was just getting 100 views, 200 views or less on most of my YouTube videos before I posted this one. And I remember this was the first video that really got attention or comments, especially from random people, and I got a lot of hate on this video, and I remember being so upset for 2 or 3 days. I couldn't sleep. I was like, all these people hate me, man. All these people are saying all this mean stuff. And now it's crazy how quickly I got over that, because I was really nervous for a week or two. I was like, wow, this is what it's going to be like to be a YouTuber, to be someone in the public eye, people are just commenting on you all the time and, you know, saying mean things. This is not fun. I don't know if I want to do this. And then, you know, I got over it really, really quickly, but I feel like I've started to kind of get back into that over the last 2 years. I've started to like worry more about like what people say and stuff, which is crazy. And well, I did a few months ago. I kind of got over it once again once that whole, like I said, the Kabukicho incident blew up, and I got like so much hate for that, which I didn't even do anything. And it kind of brought me back to reality of like, okay, yeah, like people just say stupid stuff online. You really can't give weight to their opinions, especially just like random faceless people online. So anyways, obviously at the time when I posted this video, I thought I was cooking. I thought I was dropping cold hard facts on people. And I've had some thoughts over the years. I mean, at this point, I was living in Japan for like a year and a half, maybe a year and a half, maybe 1 year. And over the years, I've had some different thoughts. And I remember thinking recently, damn, I don't know if I was cooking in that video. I might have been kind of dumb. But I haven't actually come back to watch the video in years. So let's watch it and let's roast myself. Let's roast me.
Long story short, everybody knows that.
Can you guys hear this? Hold on. I feel like I need to turn the volume up.
Suck ass here in Japan. Long story short, everybody knows that gyms suck ass here in Japan.
Immediately, I feel like I'm trying so hard. You guys can hear the way I'm talking. My mouth is like not even open. I'm like, long story short, everybody knows gyms suck ass here in Japan. I feel like I'm trying to act so hard, but let's let it play out for a second. By the way, this hairstyle is cooked, man. I've been getting into the looks maxing thing recently. I've got way too tall of a head to be rocking this undercut shit. And look, like at the time I thought I was hot with this. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, that was... Need more volume on the sides, man. My head is way too tall for this undercut hairstyle. I look like some type of parrot or something.
In America, there are like 20 different chains of gyms where you can pay around $10 a month that are open 24 hours a day, have plenty of weights, machines, free weights, even like a room for stretching and yoga. But in Japan, it's just not the same. I mean, like, people aren't into like getting bulky and working out like that, like they are in America. Even the people who are into working out, like, they're not into getting bulky. But just in general, there are less people that are into fitness and working out like there are in America.
Dude. I mean, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. If I would make this same video today, I would put more emphasis on just talking about just how different Japan is and coming into Japan with this idea of like, dude, we have this thing in my country, but we don't have it here in Japan. What the fuck? Is pretty stupid. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that in this video, like, why can't we have this if we have this in America? Why can't... Like, I did understand that it was different, but I think it was a little unfair of me to go that hard. I mean, but they do suck. I don't retract that statement at all. They do suck. A lot of people were upset. I think this guy, I actually met this guy in person. He was like, bro, you said gyms in Japan suck. He's like, I wouldn't have said they suck, man. I just would have said, like, they're a little bit, you know, they're a little bit smaller. I'm like, bro, come on, let's keep it real, man. They suck. But, you know, from my perspective, or, you know, Japan doesn't, that's not one of their top priorities, let's say. So, whatever.
America. I always say, like, Japanese people always think, like, everyone in America is fat, which... I mean, it's pretty true. For as many fat people as there are in America, and that, like, people in Japan would be surprised by, like, if they went to America and they were like, oh, shit, like, look at all these fat people, they would be just as surprised at how many people are muscular and in, like, super good shape. Because in Japan, there's just, like, not that many people here that are, like, really physically fit. They're...
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna let me finish. I was about to cut myself off and roast what I said, but I wasn't even letting myself finish. All right, let's let him finish.
Healthy and skinny, and they eat okay, and they take care of their bodies all right, but they don't practice like serious physical fitness, especially not putting on muscle. Anyways.
All right, yeah. I was like 90% correct on this. I gotta be honest though, the way that I said people that aren't like seriously physically fit, I should have said like seriously muscular. Because there are a lot of people who are seriously physically fit here in Japan. A lot of people who prioritize cardio like crazy and are at the gym every day, and although they're not putting on like these crazy gains and looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sam Sulek, there are so many people here that have great cardiovascular health and that like run every day and are very fit. It's just kind of a different image than what we have in the West. So, yeah, but America like extremes with kind of everything. There's like the extremes in America. It's like you got the really, really fat, really, really out of shape people. And then you've got like absolute health nuts who are jacked and do like they go to CrossFit every day and they only eat this or that. I mean, it's very, very, very rare that I've met anyone like that in Japan. Japan is like most people are kind of about the same. Of course, everybody's different, but way less variation in Japan. In terms of like, yeah, I would stand by that statement. In terms of like health nuts, like absolute health nuts, not as many in Japan. I think it's even for the people that are very healthy in Japan. I know a lot of dudes who go to my gym and they go to the gym like almost every day and they're in very good shape. They're not like super muscular or whatever, but they do cardio every day and they are in very good shape. But still they get wasted. Like they drink like 3-4 beers every single night. Like the drinking culture is really bad and they don't watch like at what they eat as much as maybe the health nuts in America. So I think I would stand by that statement. I think I presented it a little bit wrong by saying what I say, like they aren't very physically fit. They are physically fit, they don't tend to be like jacked, muscular.
I digress. There's like a whole bunch of chains that are all around like 8,000 yen to 10,000 yen, which is like 8,000 yen is, I don't know, around like $60 USD. 10,000 is like around $70 USD. Not all of them, but many of them are 24 hours. But basically every single one of those gyms is small as fuck. They only have one of each weight or machine. Dumbbells, they only go up to like maybe 20 kilos max, which is like 40 something pounds. They don't have many machines. And like, dude, this is dead ass. I've been to multiple different gyms. I'm not saying this is every gym in Japan, by the way, so you dumbass motherfuckers who are about to be like, well, I have this gym in Fukuoka and it's actually cheaper and it has like, dude, I'm talking.
All right, facts though, facts. Yeah, pretty much everything I said there, like for the average gym in Japan is true. Like the weights don't go up to 100 pounds. Like the dumbbells don't go up to 100 pounds like they do in America. There are way fewer dumbbells, there's like one of each machine. So if somebody else is using it, there's like even a line that you have to wait behind people to use that. Now, I will say, within Tokyo, you can find actually some decent gyms. Now, I was exaggerating by saying, oh, somebody knows a gym in Fukuoka. More realistically, it's not like someone knows a gym in Fukuoka. It's like you live in Tokyo, you live in Shinjuku, and somebody's like, dude, there's actually a pretty good gym in Sangenjaya. And maybe there is a decent gym in Sangenjaya, but that's like 30 minutes. It's like 30 minutes to get there. And it's still not as good as like an average gym in the US. And it's still crazy expensive. Like I found there's a really nice gym that I went to. I did a video on it. It was called Hero Gym. I did that video with my buddy Jacob. He's a professional bodybuilder. And that was like a badass gym. And that was the best gym that I've been to, that I've seen in Japan. But still, even for that gym, it's like, okay, that's the one gym that, I mean, I'm sure there are a couple more. But that was like 40 minutes from my place. I'm going to travel 40 minutes there every single time. It was, even though it was really nice, still there was only like one of most of the machines. And it was expensive as hell even for the 1 day pass. I think it was like $35 for my single day pass. I don't remember how much it was monthly. Actually, you know what? Don't quote me on that because I don't want to slander this gym. They seem like a cool gym, but it was expensive compared to what I'm used to in the States. So, Yeah, definitely very limited compared to the States. Not something, I will say that's probably been one of the biggest difficulties, if not the biggest difficulty that I've experienced since moving to Japan. It's something that if you're coming from the US and you go to the gym and you've been going to the gym for years in the US, it's just part of your life and you don't even think about it. Like, you don't even think, oh, like there's a possibility that there won't be a decent gym to work out at. Like, it doesn't even cross your mind. I never thought, like, oh, how am I going to find a gym in Japan? I was like, dude, it's Tokyo. It's freaking Tokyo, man. Like, there are probably gyms everywhere. I mean, even if it's not the same as the US, there's probably something. And then I get out here and I had so much trouble finding a decent gym. And I'm not going to tell the whole story because I think I tell it in the video, but let's get back to the video.
Talking about Tokyo, and I'm talking about Japan in general. Good gym that's not super expensive and that actually has a decent amount of workout equipment is basically non-existent. Like, I wouldn't even say hard to find because it's basically non-existent. However, there's Gold's Gym here.
Hold on.
Like, I wouldn't even say hard to find. The amount of workout equipment is basically non-existent, and that actually has a decent amount of workout equipment is basically not. Talking about Tokyo, and I'm talking about Japan in general. Good gym that's not super expensive. And that actually has a decent amount of workout equipment is basically non-existent. Like, I wouldn't even say hard to find because it's basically non-existent. Yeah. However, there's Gold's.
I cooked there. I mean, I could be wrong, but to this day, I haven't found a gym that's actually like a decent gym and not super expensive, at least compared to the States. Now, I've found better gyms than I expected, I think, at this time when I was making this video, but still, those were so expensive. I mean, if you live in Japan, you've always lived in Japan, you don't know anything better, I guess, you know, paying like $100 a month or $80 a month for a gym was like kind of like whatever. But if someone comes from the States and you're paying, like, dude, I was a member at Export. I don't know if you guys remember Export. I was paying $10 a month, legitimately $10 a month. It was a huge box gym, 24 hours, showers, lockers, everything. And like I said, you can't just compare America to Japan and be like, we have this in America, why doesn't Japan have it? So I'll meet you in the middle there. That was stupid. But can't blame myself either for just being used to something and then being so confused and not knowing what to do when I don't have it.
Gym here. I actually haven't been to Gold's Gym. I would assume it's not nearly as big and nice and as well equipped as the Gold's gyms in America, but I've heard that gym is like actually decent. However, I believe it's 15,000 yen, which is like 120, 130 buck range per month, dude. Insane compared to American standards, which actually makes me wonder, like, why someone hasn't come over here, like, from overseas and opened a cheap gym chain with like the actual right equipment, because I feel like you would make an insane amount of money. I would do it if I had the money and resources, but I'm a broke student. It's like the basic gyms.
All right, so let's replay this really quick. I got something to say here.
It actually makes me wonder, like, why someone hasn't come over here, like, from overseas and opened a cheap gym chain with like the actual right equipment, because I feel like you would make an insane amount of money.
Here I'm making the mistake that so many foreigners make in Japan. You have this idea of, like, there's this thing that we love in my country that is successful in my country. Like, it's so successful in my country, it should be successful anywhere. So why not bring it to Japan and try it out in Japan? And a lot of times people do this stuff. They're like, dude, Japan is a first world country. The people of Japan are so smart. And, like, the standard of living is so high. Why don't they just have this? It's so obvious. Just do this. And I don't think people are understanding how different Japan is. It's just like, yeah, I mean, most likely story is they just don't want to do that. It's like, it's kind of like the, what's it called? The Zangyo culture, the overtime work culture in Japan, karoshi, which is like overworking death, like people work so much that they die or something like that. And if you talk to an American's like, what? Dude, like, you don't have to work overtime, just leave. Just leave. Like, it's so obvious. Why don't they just leave? It's so obvious. It's like me. It's like, why don't they just make a big gym? It's so obvious. You would be rich. It's like, yeah, the people don't want to do that. It's a very different culture. Like, people in America are maybe more individualist, but in Japan, everybody works as a team, works as a group, you know, in some senses, and everybody is constantly trying not to stand out and not be looked down upon by their superiors, like their bosses and stuff like that. So as simple as it may be for an American to just say, dude, just build a gym there, bro, or dude, just go home at 5 o'clock when when it's your time to go home. It's really not that simple in Japan, and it takes living here and, you know, speaking the language and being some type of part of Japanese culture to really understand that. I mean, actually, I still do think like, yeah, like they should just go home, but I understand it's just how different the Japanese people are. All right, let's continue on with this video. Hold up. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. All right, hold on. Let's get back to the video here.
I would do it if I had the money and resources, but I'm a broke student. It's like the basic gyms. You got your Anytime Fitness. You got your Joy Fit, I think it's called. There's a place called like 24.
By the way, if there's anybody that lives in Japan here, is Anytime Fitness the move? I feel like that is kind of the move. Like, that's the most reasonable option. Seems like that, at least. It's not perfect, but it's also not too expensive, and you could go to different chains. I don't love my gym, but I'm satisfied enough with the small gym that I go to that I don't want to change. But I feel like if I did have to change, I would go to Anytime.
A bunch of those gyms, they're all like 24 hours. It's around like the 8,000 to 9,000 yen range, which I said is like $60-70 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they all are small as fuck, cramped as fuck. They have a bunch of rules. A lot of them you can't go in with tattoos. They don't want you being on your phone in between sets because they think you're gonna like take too much time, and you know it's small and there's not a bunch of equipment, so people have to wait to use stuff. They don't want you listening to music too loud. I actually was in this gym one time and a dude took a phone call really quick while he was on the treadmill. The gym literally has music playing inside, and someone from the desk came out to get him off the phone because she said it was noisy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll never forget this, dude. I was in this community gym. It was this community center gym, and the way that you got in was you would go and you'd buy a ticket every time. You would, you know when you go into a ramen shop and there's the, what's it called? The shokenki or something like that? I think it's called shokenki, meaning like meal ticket machine. When you go into this community gym, it was like the same thing. There's like this machine, it looked like a vending machine, and there are all these buttons on it. And you'd press one of the buttons, like you'd have to put money in, and then you'd press a button and then it would spit a ticket out. And the buttons would say like 1 hour workout, 2 hours of workouts, rental towel, whatever. And you put your order in and then you put your money in and you get your ticket. And every time, if you had a membership, I don't know if you could go there, if you didn't have a membership, but if you had a membership, it would be 100 yen for 1 hour. So then, it's like 70 cents or something for 1 hour, which, isn't terrible or whatever. So I would do that. But as soon as you buy the ticket, then you got to go to the locker room and change and do your stretching and whatever. So you might as well just buy 2 hours. So that's 200 yen. And then you go into the gym, and the only people that are working there are these old ladies. And they were very nice. They were very, very nice, and they were very helpful to me, especially when I just came to Japan. I didn't speak great Japanese. But they were like telling me how to work out and telling me how to use the machines and stuff. And I remember they were showing me the dumbbells, and the heaviest dumbbell there was, I think, was like 5 kilos, which is like 10 pounds. And they were showing me how to use the machines and stuff. And I remember just thinking like, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been here before. And I don't know. It was just, I was out of place. I was like, this is not where I need to be. I still went there for a few months, and I just specifically remember this one day. This guy's running on the treadmill, and it's already like kind of loud in there. There's music playing, and in the next room over, there was like a basketball club or something like that. And, you know, there's weights like being put down and picked up, and people coming in and out of the locker room, slamming the doors. And there's this dude running on the treadmill. He's, you know, the treadmill sound and his feet running, and then he like gets a call on his phone and answers his phone. And like within 3 seconds of him answering the phone, like one of the old ladies who was working there, because they'd be standing at different like spots in the workout room, just like watching to make sure nobody was using any equipment wrong or doing anything dangerous. They said it was dangerous one time because I was lifting 2 dumbbells at one time in one hand because they were too light. I'm like that. And she goes up to this guy who's running on the treadmill, and he answers the phone, and she's like, Dan walking, she started 30 miles. I don't know, like, Dan walking, she this. I don't know, remember exactly how she said it, but she comes up and she's like, yeah, you can't talk on the phone in here. And I guess because it's seen as noisy or something, but I don't know. I thought that was funny. And there were just a couple of treadmills, and you had to like sign in to use them. You had to like write your name on a whiteboard, and even if there was nobody there, you had to like get off in when your time was up, and then you'd have to like, if you wanted to use it again, you'd have to like wipe your name off and like sign out a new sheet and stuff. It was just very Japanese, a lot of goofy rules. So I think I tell the story a little bit in the video. So let's just get back to the video.
That's
I guess
how crazy it is here.
Anyways.
講座にもトッピングしてる？講座に？トッピング。
What's up, y'all? Thanks to the chat. Thanks for participating in the chat, y'all. I'll respond to some more messages in a moment once we get through this video. KG77148 says, anytime fitness is the move.
I can't speak on Gold's Gym, but I will tell you it's expensive as hell, but I'm sure it's decent. And I have heard that there's other like bodybuilding and powerlifting gyms for people who are like seriously into it, but it's a similar price range. I believe this guy in my class is paying 20,000 yen a month.
Yeah, who was that?
20,000 yen is like $160 or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like closer to 150. It's that ridiculous. You can also go to a community center. Every town has multiple community centers. You usually do a membership and you pay like 500 yen.
Yeah, this is where I was going at the beginning.
And you get a membership for the year, but then every time you go, there's going to be this little vending machine type thing with buttons on it, and it's probably like 100 yen for 1 hour. So like 70 something cents. You put a little coin in, you press it, and it like logs you in. But you have to do that every single time you go. So then you're paying like whatever, a couple bucks for the year membership, and then every time you go, you're paying $1 or $2, depending on how many hours you want to go. The worst part of it is the gyms at the community centers, they look like the exercise room at a hospital, like a rehab room or something. There's no big weights. There's a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
And like children, like teenage girls.
Yeah.
Weights only up to 5 kilos at the gym that I was
there was like a bunch of it was just like old grandmas. It was like old grandmas, and then there would be like teenage girls that would come in with their mom, and they'd be doing like the funniest workouts. I mean, Hey, if it works for them, if that's what gets them out of the house into the gym, if that's what gets them to start moving their body around, like, fair enough. But they, like, do this stuff where they're, like, standing in front of the mirror and just, like, moving their neck. You know, they're doing the head circles, and then they're, like, standing, like, I don't know, like, shaking their wrists and stuff. And they'd be, like, going like this in front of the mirror. And there'd be old people, like, I don't know, they'd be like kicking their feet out in front of the mirror, just like shaking their legs around. And I was goofy. I remember looking around and thinking, dude, I don't belong here. I deserve to be around a bunch of men. I deserve to be around a bunch of hard men, sweating and grunting. Anyways, let's just get back to the video.
Which is like 11 pounds. Went there for a year. I tried my best to do like body weight stuff. I was holding like 3 dumbbells at one time, and one time the lady yelled at me and told me not to do that because I was gonna drop them. It killed my gains, dude. I lost all my gains. I did a huge ass bulk, and then I said, when I get to Japan, I'm gonna cut and I'm gonna save all this muscle. Little did I know, the gyms suck ass here, and I tried my best to keep up my gains at
True.
this like
True.
goddamn hospital senior citizen rehabilitation gym. I lost all my gains, bro. I got so skinny. What
No
I do
way,
now,
bro.
and what I recommend you should do as well,
Yeah.
for more reasons than one, look in your community, see if you can find a martial arts gym, whether it be kickboxing, judo, just all around MMA, boxing, anything like that, because there are a lot of martial arts gyms.
You know, I'm going to give myself some credit here. I thought I was going to watch this video and think like, wow, this dude's trying so hard. This dude's so cringe. Look how hard he's trying to be cool or be funny. I mean, it's pretty... I don't think it's so bad, actually. It's not nearly as cringe as I thought it was going to be. I'm actually thankful that it doesn't seem like I'm trying super hard to be really funny in this video. I'm kind of just chill. So, like, whatever. I think a lot of people delete their old content, whether it be music or YouTube or art, any form of art. They delete their old content because they don't want people to see the old stuff that used to be cringe, or that's cringe or whatever, before they became much more talented. And I actually don't think I'm that much more talented now. But I disagree with that, because I actually like seeing the glow up. And I would like the people to see the glow up as well. I want other followers to watch my old videos and be like, damn, this is how this guy used to be? He went from that to this? He went from 80 IQ to 90 IQ? No. I actually don't think I've ascended that much. But slightly. And I like seeing the growth. Pause. But I like seeing the growth. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Some of them are serious, some of them are not. I mean, ideally, you're going to want to go to the serious ones, so then you can actually train, like, get some dope-ass skills about defending yourself and learning how to kick a mother...
Some dope-ass skills, bro. Like, just, you want to learn how to, like, kick a motherfucker's ass, bro? You want to learn how to see red, bro, and just, like, kick a motherfucker's ass, bro?
Fucker's ass. But even if it's not, like, a super legit gym with pros and people who actually fight, odds are they have... like shitty old weight equipment for people to train. Usually like a squat rack and a bench.
Yeah.
And actually some heavy weights.
Well, actually, I got to pause here, though, because I've been to a couple more of these MMA gyms since this video, and I would say it's a rarity to find actually like a fair amount of dumbbells, especially a squat rack or a bench, at an MMA gym or a boxing gym. I've seen a couple other gyms and they might have like a couple dumbbells and that's it, or like a couple kettlebells and that's it. So I gotta take that back. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily the go-to. I mean, I still recommend training some type of martial art if you can, because you gotta learn how to kick a motherfucker's ass, bro. But not all or even most MMA gyms or boxing gyms, martial arts gyms in Japan will have a bunch of weights just sitting around for you to use.
Shitty and old, and there's probably only going to be one set of them, but odds are there's actually some heavy weights there. Combat sports are actually like super popular in Japan. Like, not that many people train seriously. A lot of people train as like, you know, like kickboxing fitness and tai chi and weird stuff like that, but there are a lot of gyms, and like every town you can find a decent one.
Yeah, there's this dude at my gym. Like, I go to this MMA gym, but there's a lot of guys actually. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few. Especially there's this one dude who's there almost every weekday. And he's always doing, I think it's Tai Chi. I don't know. It's like, he's just standing there and like going like, it looks like he's trying to generate chi, or what is it? Chi, or energy. Like he's trying to generate like an energy blast. And he's always going like, he's trying to summon a spirit bomb or something. He's legit like doing stuff like this. And he'll do that for like an hour. He'll just stand there doing this. Maybe I should ask him to teach me something.
Those gyms are cheaper than like real gyms, and you can attend classes. The gym that I go to, it's 8,000 yen, which is like the average shitty gym price in Japan.
And you know what? I still go to the same gym.
And I can attend any class however many times I want whenever. And I can use the equipment. I can kick the heavy bags. I can do whatever. It's 8,000 yen for all of that equipment plus any of the classes I want. I have noticed there's a couple other gyms like that, like right in my town. And most of them have weights. People here aren't like super interested in like bulking up, so
I wouldn't say most of them have weights. I would say some of them do if you're lucky.
Sometimes I go to the gym, there's not a single person using the weights. Everyone's just in the class or hitting the bag. I go to the gym when everybody's in class or doing whatever, and I just lift the weights. And they know me as the American guy who is lifting the weights. So then you're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone.
True.
I mean, more than 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting a good gym price, you're getting actually heavy weights.
True.
And you're learning how to defend yourself. So if you guys...
And joining a gym where you're actually participating in something, joining classes, conversing with people, holding pads for each other, you actually have to immerse yourself in the culture a little bit and attempt to speak the language, or hopefully, I mean, unless you're just a complete asshole who's just there speaking English to everybody, even though they don't speak any English. That's super annoying, and like that's the most annoying foreigner in Japan. Well, one of the most annoying foreigners in Japan. But yeah, you actually get a chance to learn the culture, learn the language, speak the language with some people if you actually go to a gym where you're joining classes.
You can find like a combat sports gym that has like a decent price. Odds are they have weights and not many people are using them. So that's what I would recommend. And if you're too scared to like go into a wrestling or a combat sports gym, like you should just cut that shit out right now, because plenty of women, children, senior kickboxing fitness classes and all of that. So there's nothing scary about it. It's a good ass time. Additionally,
well, in most gyms, I don't know if I would say most. There are plenty of gyms that you can go to and people will just be respectful and they'll be chill and it'll be fine. But I gotta be honest, man. I went to this gym when I was in the States. I went to this gym for a little bit and it was crazy, dude. I was there for like 2 days and the instructor, like I didn't know anything about martial arts, and the instructor was like, tomorrow you spar. And I was like, what? I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to throw a jab yet. He was like, tomorrow you spar. And I go out there and I think, actually I take that back. I think, well, that was when he had me like legit spar. But then even on the very first day I was ever there, I think he had me do like a touch sparring thing at the end of the day. But I mean, that's what the coach says. The coach is like, yeah, this is his first day, just take it easy on him. But I mean, if you get around like meathead MMA dudes, the amount of dudes who are actually taking that serious and really going light on you is probably like the number of those guys are pretty low. So anyways, I got the shit kicked out of me on day 1. Then we actually start sparring on like day 3. And basically my chin touched my shoulder. A dude hit the fuck out of my chin. I got dropped a few different times from body shots. And I remember thinking, bro, this can't be the way to do it. This, like, I just got here. I don't even know how to defend. Like, I don't know how to do anything. And they're just getting they're just kicking the shit out of me on day 3. But I don't know. I'm not an MMA coach. Maybe that is the way to do it. Maybe you got to toughen people up first and then teach them skills after.
You'll make friends when you're there because people actually want to talk. Because like if you're at a regular weightlifting gym, everyone's got their headphones in and they're just working out by themselves. But if you're at like a gym where people are attending classes, people are talking to each other, you get to know people, you get to practice your Japanese also. So like,
big brain.
What reason do you have not to do that?
This dude stole that from me. He just heard me say that. Wow. Incredible. Yo, hold up, y'all. I gotta drain the lizard right quick. And we back. We back. Let's respond to some comments. Respond to some chats. Whistles as he gets out. Yes, I do whistle as I get out of the pisser. And you know what I also do? I also moan while I'm pissing. It feels so good. You guys know, when you... Alright, imagine this. I'm going to set the stage for you really quick, okay? You've been on a flight. A plane, right? A plane to Japan. 14-hour flight. Of course, you can get up and you can use the bathroom on the plane, right? But it's the last couple hours you just knocked out. You fell asleep, right? You fell asleep for the last, 6 hours of the flight. And then they wake you up telling you get ready because we're going to be landing soon. There's turbulence. You can't go to use the bathroom. They're like, please stay seated. Keep your seatbelt fastened, right? And you're like, damn. I haven't taken a piss in 7 hours. I really got to go. It's dripping out of the tip of my wee-wee, and it's getting on my boxers, and it kind of starts to feel like a stomach ache almost, right? And then you finally land, and then they're doing the taxi part of where they're just driving, and you're sitting there thinking, dude, my bladder's going to explode. I'm going to pee all over myself for the first time in 20-something years. I'm going to do it all over this plane. I have no other option. And then you finally get to the gate, and they're like, oh, you got to wait for the people in front of you. And you're just sitting there, you're itching. You're just waiting to empty your bladder. And you're like, please, God, please, Lord. Please, let's just get there already. You finally get out. You wait for everybody in front of you to get all their bags. They're pulling their bags down from the top, and things are falling down, and somebody spilled something on the floor, and then they're trying to pick it up in front of you, and it's 20 minutes that you're waiting to exit the plane, right? You get out of there, and finally, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see the bathroom once you get into the airport. You see the bathroom down the hall. You take one of those little, escalator things that are on the ground, so you can get closer, so you can quickly get to the bathroom. And you get in there, and you start draining your lizard. You start pissing like a racehorse. You start watering those plants with precision, with power, right? You have two options here. You can either, one, you can stay quiet and be a little boy, a little prepubescent boy who's afraid to moan, afraid to get some moan on and fully enjoy this experience. Or you can be a real man. This is what you do. This is the power pose. You put one hand on the wall. I don't care if the wall's dirty. You put one hand on the wall above you. You pull and then you got one hand on your winky, and you're just pissing, and you let out I'm telling you. Don't knock it if you haven't tried it yet. I'm telling you guys, that is the absolute best way to piss. And some people would say it's just as good as an orgasm. It's awesome. Letting out a big piss, assuming the power pose, and just moaning it out like a real man should. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest, but... Alright, what's up? Let's respond to some comments here. Hello. What up, some random guy? He says, scared face. Your bladder got a frowny face right now. Never happened to me. Oh, Josie Thomas said, I sent you an email asking you about No Joke Howard. Haha. I saw you watching one of his vids in a previous vid. He's a legend, and you remind me of him. Dude, No Joke Howard is the GOAT. He is one of the biggest reasons that I started a YouTube channel, even that I moved to Japan. No Joke Howard was a YouTuber, a super funny YouTuber who moved to Cambodia. And he had a funny-ass YouTube channel. And he inspired me to do a lot of stuff in my life. He inspired me largely to move to Japan, to move to Asia, to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, No Joke Howard's the GOAT, man. R.I.P. It's my boy right there. Macau Vintage said, you can pee in the airplane bathroom. Bro, you weren't listening to me, man. I ain't gonna repeat it for you. You are a clean version of No Joke Howard. No joke. What's the biggest reason you want to move back to the U.S.? Just the culture, man. The culture of freedom. The culture of individuality. The culture of taking care of yourself. And not worrying about what everybody else is doing all the time. Tokyo Sam's, what up? When you piss, do it from at least 5 feet away to assert dominance to men standing at the stalls. That's true. You have to show them that you have a powerful stream and they have a weak stream. They've got that colon cancer stream. Or what is it? Anyways. How would you rate the difficulty of your school compared to other schools? The Japanese school that I went to? I think it's probably mid-tier. I mean, I didn't go to other schools, so I don't know for sure, but I was told that it was mid-tier. So it makes sense to me. Like, you know, pretty middle of the road, not super difficult, but also not a joke by any means. Whoa, that's based. FishFast7197 says, if your bathroom is small enough, you can lean back against the sink and piss. I've never thought about that. I guess I could actually kind of do it in my bathroom. I could do it on the wall. I could lean back against the wall, just kind of prop myself up against the wall and let it out. I never thought about that. That might be really awesome. I should try that. All right. Anyways, guys, continue on to the next part of the stream. I want to respond to an email that I got from a gentleman. I think his name, you know what, I'm not going to say his name actually because I don't want, based on the nature of the email, I don't think he wants to be, I don't think he wants his name all over there, all over the internet. So this email is in, there's no particular reason I chose this email over other emails. It's just I opened my email box and this is the first, most recent email, like advice email that I got. So I'll read it for you guys here. I copy and pasted it into a Word document. Where are we? All right. I don't know if you guys can see this. Maybe a little bit. All right. Anyways. Dude goes, hey, James. First things first. Hope you're doing well since the incident in Shinjuku. Crazy times we live in. Yep. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Actually, you know, I gotta be, you know what? No. Should I, you know what? Yeah. All right, you know what? I have so many comments about the whole Shinjuku thing, and I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about it. Am I gonna do like a long video about it? How many times am I gonna comment on it? Am I gonna make a live stream series where I talk about it more? I have so much to say, but long story short, I got some threats after the video, and I've been doing all right, but I've been paranoid since then because I got some threats, and it's the first time I've ever gotten like physical threats in my life. So I've been paranoid walking around the city. I've been paranoid in my apartment. I didn't sleep very well for a long time. So I'm doing all right though. Thank you. Crazy times we live in. Anyways, I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for a long time in a similar style to yours. I think I have a funny enough personality and some interesting things to say. I really enjoy the unfiltered and speak my mind, to a degree, content style. However, I am concerned about how that may affect my future employment opportunities. Reasonable concern. I'm currently in university, but working towards landing a finance role where image and perception are a really big deal. All right, well, employers take that really seriously, not to mention how fucked up the job market is right now. So I might be putting myself in a really bad situation if I act too unprofessional by swearing excessively and talking about controversial topics too brashly. Should I show my face but tone down the swearing and or controversial video topics, or not show my face and speak my mind? If I were to go through with the channel, I would ideally want to show my face to build a connection with the audience, but similarly, I want to speak my mind. Anyways, would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you find this topic interesting enough to make a video on, I'm also happy for you to do that. Cheers. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the email, and I think this is a great question to ask. This is a question that I had when I was starting out in my YouTube journey as well. I'll tell you how it happened for me, because I worried about this for years and years and years. Ever since I was before high school, man, I've always been a consumer of YouTube. I was a young kid. I was a young gent back in the Chicago suburbs, skateboarding with my friends, playing basketball, playing baseball all the time, but I used to love getting on YouTube and just watching like vloggers talk about, I used to watch these skating vloggers. I used to watch, and then when I got in, beginning of high school, I got into like the gym stuff, and I was watching Matt Ogus and Chris Jones and Elliot Hulse, all types of different cats on YouTube all the time. And I always thought, I want to do that. That looks so fun, just making videos, talking about my opinions. And I felt like I had a lot to say. But I didn't know, I had basically these exact concerns. What are people going to think about me? Is this going to ruin my job opportunities? Am I going to be unprofessional? Should I not show my face and make videos? And so I actually thought about doing the thing where I wasn't going to have my face be on video. I was going to maybe like edit some videos and talk behind a microphone. And then I realized, I looked into editing a little bit, and I realized editing sucks. I hate doing it. I hate sitting behind the computer and fucking around on the computer all the time. I can't do that. It's just not. I'm sure I could learn it if I spent a whole bunch of time, but I can't do that. And if I sit behind the computer and I make videos day after day after day, and I spend all of my time editing, realistically, I don't have a knack, I don't have a talent for editing and doing cool videos that have cool editing and finding out what type of microphone to use and software and thumbnails, and I don't have a knack for that. I don't have a natural talent. So even if I was doing that to the absolute best of my ability and I was working super hard, I don't know how great those videos would be, to be honest. And then it's what would be the point of doing this at all? Because I'm not even making great videos. I'm going to get absolutely dunked on left and right by other people who do have a natural knack for the editing or making better produced videos than I do. And this is when I start realizing, all right, I've always had a talent for speaking, for talking, for being kind of funny, for being kind of like a relatable, goofy personality type guy. And so it would pretty much defeat the purpose. So the reason that I want to make YouTube videos in the first place is because I want to be heard, because I also want to show people that you don't have to be afraid to speak your mind, that you can have balls and go out there and say whatever the fuck you want unapologetically. And it would be hypocritical for me to do that and then, have a channel where I'm just speaking behind a microphone and I'm like a VTuber or something like that. So I started to realize, all right, well, not only does this align with my values of being a boss, standing up and just showing my face out there and saying, hey, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, but also I kind of have a natural talent and ability for this. And I'm not the best speaker in the world. I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm not the most charismatic of the bunch, but I do all right. And this is a strength that I have, I think. So for me to just ignore that strength and then, like I said, be some type of VTuber or something like that because I'm afraid of future job opportunities and what's going to happen, I realized, no, this is what I got to do. I got to go out there and I got to put my face on camera. So I think there is no right answer for everyone, bro. And that's why I can't answer this for you. But I do want to say, everything that he says here is right. Your job opportunities will be in jeopardy if you get out and you make a YouTube channel where you're just as unfiltered as possible. You start going on and you're you make a YouTube, but on day one, you're not even getting any money. You don't have any traction. You don't got any motion or anything. And you go out and you start saying you got to look into the racial demographic crime statistics. In your first video, you start saying, The numbers are you start saying some crazy stuff. It's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. So you got to understand there's like a spectrum for everybody on how far you can go on this topic or how far you can go on that topic, and within yourself as well. How comfortable are you talking about whatever you want to talk about? How comfortable are you not speaking your mind? Do you feel like you express yourself in other areas of your life enough to where it doesn't hurt your feelings that you go out on YouTube and you post kind of censored videos, kind of filtered videos, or you don't do them at all? For me, I felt like I have a gift. I'm good at a lot of things. Like, I'm okay at a lot of things. A lot of things come relatively natural to me, but I've always had a gift for kind of speaking and conveying messages and storytelling. And I've never pursued, I don't think I've ever really pursued a career or an art where I can truly utilize that to the best of my ability, because I was afraid of what people might say if I went out there and I started doing this. And on top of that, I also noticed that I lived so much of my life being a very censored person based on my family, my upbringing. I haven't talked about this much on the channel, but my father was mentally ill, is mentally ill, and you couldn't really disagree with him growing up. You couldn't ever say anything that he disagreed with because you just get your ass whooped or whatever. So I would have to, I lived my whole entire life learning to just censor myself all the time, and I would be a different person when I was with my friends and with people where I felt like I could really open up, and then I would be a different person at home where I was just quiet, and I just avoided conflict all the time, never spoke up. And, as I grow up, as I go through my 20s as a young man or just a man now, I realize how much that has really hindered me in my life and really kept me from being the best person that I could be and being a voice for anyone, but especially young men who maybe feel the same, who maybe feel like they grew up in a household where they can't talk about things, they can't stand up to elders or authorities. And it would be a real shame if I went through the rest of my life and I never actually did this. So for me, it's something deeper than just being a YouTuber and making a couple $100 a month off of YouTube. It's actually a personal journey that I've been on, and that's why I'm doing the YouTube channel and I'm being myself and I'm trying to be unfiltered. I'm not 100% unfiltered, and I've realized that a lot in the last few months since this Kabukicho incident. I've had so many epiphanies that I've yet to talk about on the channel, but I plan to soon. And I've realized I'm still filtering myself quite a bit, even on YouTube, where I try to be this unfiltered guy. So for me, I have to do it. It's not a choice of just like making some money or having like a little fun hobby. This is a personal journey that I'm on, and this is one of the ways that I see myself conquering my fears that have been molded into me since I was a child. My fear of speaking up, my fear of going against the grain, my fear of telling someone the uncomfortable truth or telling someone that I disagree. So this is why I chose it. And I've accepted now at this point in my life, a couple years into doing the YouTube, I've accepted that I can still find jobs. Maybe it's not going to be the best job in the world for me. Maybe I'm not going to make the most money in the world. But even through doing the YouTube, I've had a few different people email me from the States and from in Japan saying, dude, we love your unfiltered videos. We have a small company. We we work in this, and are you interested in working with us? So, I've made friends in Japan as well through the YouTube. Not just like people who have emailed me, but people actually like real friends in Japan through the YouTube who have hit me up and be like, dude, like, are you interested in working and doing this or whatever? So if your YouTube gets popular as well, yeah, definitely you might get canceled and a lot of companies might not want to work with you. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not saying count on this for sure. Some people might hit you up as well and say, dude, we vibe with what you're saying. We want to employ you. And like I said, those might not be the best jobs in the world, but you have to figure out what's important for you. I'm personally okay with making less money just having kind of an okay career, if that's what I have to do, if I have to work for a company. And knowing that the trade-off was that I was myself and I learned how to speak my mind, and I also inspired other people online. Because, this is how like I said, I was just talking about No Joke Howard, the other YouTuber. This is how I became the man that I was, that I am. Through, maybe I couldn't meet super inspiring, super charismatic people in my normal everyday life that I thought I could look up to. So I would come home from school and I would start watching YouTube from people who were doing cool stuff around the world, whether it be No Joke Howard, Elliot Hulse, Matt Ogus, Chris Jones. I used to watch the Hodge twins a lot. And I would be like, dude, if you are the sum, or you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, and you can't meet anybody to aspire to be like in your everyday life, dude, just surround yourself with imaginary friends, people that you watch on YouTube, and try to be like those people. Tell yourself that those are your friends. Tell yourself that that's your circle, and go after that. So that's kind of what I started doing, and going on a long rant, long tangent here, but it depends on you, man. Like, if you feel this passion burning inside of you, like I have something to say, and it's going to bug me if I don't say it. If I'm on my deathbed and you have 2 options, you have extra money in the bank when you die, and, an easier life because you had more money, and you didn't speak your mind, and you didn't talk about these issues that you wanted to talk about on YouTube. And then you have the other one where you had maybe a little bit more difficult life. Maybe you got canceled. Maybe you couldn't make as much money. You couldn't get as many jobs. But you can lay your head down on your final deathbed and be like, yeah, dude, I didn't hold anything back. I was a real one. I told people what it was, and I inspired a lot of people. And, I inspired my kids. That's something I think about a lot as well. I think, in the next 5-10 years, I want kids. And I had that thought recently where it's like, I'm pretty censored, like, especially when it comes to like political matters. I'm very censored, not even just on YouTube, but like in my personal life as well. People will be ranting about politics to me, and occasionally I'll have an opinion. I'm not the most political guy, but occasionally I'll have an opinion, and I won't say it because I just want to avoid conflict. And of course, I'm not saying that you should get into arguments with everybody who ever says that's problematic or whatever. But there are certain times that you can have discussions. And I just thought, like, if I have kids, and of course they're going to know what my views are in the house, but what do they see me like a social gathering, or we're at dinner at somebody's house, and people are ranting about this and that, and I'm not speaking up, not because just to avoid a fight, but I'm not speaking up because I'm afraid of conflict. And I don't want kids to see like, oh man, like their father's always shutting his mouth, always holding his tongue, afraid to speak up about things. But, when we get back at the house, he's so loud about this issue or that issue. So I just thought I want to set an example, because I grew up where I had to censor myself all the time, and I always had to keep my mouth shut, and I never wanted to stir the pot or stand up to anyone, because if I did, I would get punished for it big time. And I don't want my kids to think like that. I want my kids to think like, yo, you can speak up. You can tell anybody that they're a dumbass. You can tell anybody, don't treat me like that. Shut the hell up, man. So that's the man that I'm trying to be, and the example that I'm trying to set for my kids. So basically this guy's question is, should I go out there and be uncensored and start an uncensored YouTube channel? If I do start this uncensored YouTube channel, how uncensored should I be? He's got job opportunities. He's got offers maybe coming his way in finance, bro. That, just completely, it's up to you, man. Everybody's different. And I hate to be a fence sitter and just say that, but really, it comes down to what your values are. If you think that you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to be freaking out if you never made that YouTube channel or never made an attempt to get out there and speak your mind, then, dude, make the YouTube channel, get out there and start yapping, bro. But if it's really not that important to you, and it's just like some type of hobby that you're thinking about doing on the side just for fun, yeah, man, then stay away from it. Put more value on your career and just, living a simple life and making your money, and there's nothing wrong with that. It really depends on you, bro. All right, back to the chat here. Back to the Chad. The Chads. What's up? What's up? That's why money is so essential. If you're set for life, you can say whatever you want and not care about companies not hiring you or being banned, etc. Yeah, it's true. It's not super easy getting that money, but yeah, I mean, well, definitely. If you have enough pull, if you are valuable enough, like it's actually insane to be able to get to that point where you're so valuable, like a Joe Rogan or something, or Andrew Tate, where you can just say whatever you want and you're really uncancelable because you're so valuable at that point. Somebody is going to give you money somewhere. That's insane, but I think for the average person, for most people, that's so distant, so far out there. I don't know how realistic it is. But I agree with the sentiment. That doesn't fly in Japan, though, Macau Vintage says. Yeah. Totally, that's exactly why I'm getting out of here, man. In Japan, they do not fuck with people speaking up, especially to superiors. And like I said, man, I love Japan. I have a great time here, but that's exactly why I'm not going to live here forever. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. All right, anyways, I guess I should get rolling. I guess I should get on out of here. Guys, I'm going to start streaming. It's going to be, in Japan, it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays around this time. So I guess if you're back in the States, it will be like Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, and Thursday nights. But in Japan time, it will be Monday, Wednesday, Fridays around noon Japan Standard Time. So I'm trying to stream like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 times a week. And I'm also going to be making more YouTube videos as well. I don't want you guys to think this is like what I do now. I'm just a streamer. But I did want to just be more active in some way and connect with the people. I've stopped responding to, I apologize, but I've stopped responding to so many Instagram messages and YouTube comments because there's just so many voices coming at me all the time. And then I respond to an Instagram message and then it's like permanently in my inbox, and then people send me, like, they start sending me all these Instagram reels if I respond to their message one time and like give them advice on Japan, and it just gets super annoying. So I don't think I'm going to do that anymore, but I do want to connect with the people and respond to some stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I'm going to also do a music reacting to subscribers music stream very soon. I don't know what day that's going to be exactly yet, but I'm going to set up the info and I'm going to post it on my YouTube and on my Instagram. So I want people to send me their music, and it has to be not copyrighted music, because if it's I apologize if your music is copyrighted, but it has to be not copyrighted, because then if I listen to copyrighted music on the stream and then my stream gets banned or whatever, it just kind of defeats the purpose. But if you're like a small artist, I just think that would be fun. I did it one time in the past. I reacted to people's music on live. So I'm going to try that again. Just keep your eyes out for the details. So, thank y'all. Peace out, dogs. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I want to make sure I didn't have any super chats before I get out of here and didn't respond to anybody. No supers? Man, fuck y'all. Nah, just kidding. Alright, cool though. Thank you guys. Take care and have a good night. Peace out, y'all. How do I end the stream? I always do this.